All right. I have a question from Peggy.
Hello, Peggy.
Peggy wants to know, when God's plan is complete and the earth becomes as it is in heaven, what's to prevent us from messing things up in some way, just like we did in the Garden of Eden?
We screwed up once. We can certainly screw it up again.
That's right.
Well, yeah. The way I see this is that the longer you do anything, the more it becomes part of you. There's an old ancient maxim that goes back to Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher in the 5th century BC, and he said that we begin by making choices, and our choices, if we persist in them, become our habits. And our habits, if we persist in them, become our character, and our character becomes our destiny. And so we're in the process of developing we're solidifying into a certain kind of character. And I think that's always been God's goal, is that love has to be chosen, so there has to be a choice. But the goal is that in choosing love, we'll become loving. So that in the kingdom of heaven, we won't just be humans who choose to love. We will be humans who are loving. And we still choose to love, but it's because now it's our character. And the highest form of freedom, I think, is not the freedom to be able to choose love or its opposite. It's rather the freedom to choose love without the possibility of choosing otherwise. I think it's the highest form of freedom. Mm-hmm. For the same reason that a spouse whose character is solidified in fidelity and is no longer tempted by infidelity is freer than the spouse who always has to struggle with infidelity.
That's right.
So it's I think heaven's the highest form of freedom there is.
Yep.
And without the possibility of falling.
Yeah, I think I had the pretty close to what you said. Like anybody who is tempted by a coworker or whatever to have an affair or whatever, that's torment. That's like there's a torture that's involved with that. And it's like, but I mean, one thing I thought of, it's like, well, the argument that, well, we fell once, why wouldn't we do it again? It's like, well, I pooped my pants when I was a baby, but I'm not going to do that again. Yeah, I did it then. But unless it's an accident or I get the COVID or something, and I'm not going to intentionally do that.
Of course, what goes around comes around, and sometimes towards the end of the life, you got to go back to the diapers.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. But in heaven, hopefully, that won't be an issue.
Doesn't quite hold. But the point is that we grow, and
that's right.
What's appropriate at one stage is not at another stage.
Yep.